Take your neighbor by the hand and look your neighbor in the eye and say, neighbor, there is a need for forgiveness. Amen. That's what I want to talk about this morning. The need for forgiveness. The need for forgiveness. May the Lord watch between me and thee while we are absent one from another. It's great as a benediction. It's really wonderful as a benediction. And that it serves as a benediction between the two of them. And not only does it serve as a benediction for the two of them, many of our churches, the last thing we say in our worship service is, may the Lord watch between me and thee while we are absent one from another. But in all reality, when you look at the total context of this story, you will see it's really a statement that says we're going to move forward now. We ain't going to let the same old mess we have been dealing with continue to go on in the midst of our lives. And how are we going to do that? Because the Lord going to watch between us while we are absent, so that while we are absent one from another, I'm not taking advantage of you, and you are not taking advantage of me. And God is going to be the judge between us. In life, we go through a lot of things with people. Life is filled with its heartaches, its setbacks, its disappointments. Life is filled with its great trials that we have to go through with the people we love, as well as the people we don't care much about at all. But regardless of whether we love them or don't care about them, there are things in life that happen to us that we have to learn to forgive for. As a young preacher, I grew up with a very stern pastor. Oh, my pastor was hard on me. I ain't never been as hard on these preachers as mine was on me. My pastor was so hard on me, I dreamed about him putting me out the pulpit. He was hard. And as a matter of fact, he was so hard that I realized that God was doing something through him that would one day make me who God wanted me to be. And he used to tell folk, he would come and do my anniversaries, and he'd say, you know one thing about Turner, I can whoop him left and right. And he just still keep on coming back for more. And you know, I realized that God was doing something with me through that man. And I remember before he died, I went to the hospital to visit him. And for the first time, he was kind to me. I went in, I sat down, and he began to share with me the pains of his life. The preachers that had mistreated him and misused him because of his discipline in life. You know, folk don't like discipline. And whenever you're disciplined, folk point at you, talk about you, and ridicule you. And he began to share with me how folk had mistreated him. And I sat and I listened, and I thought about how I was the only one of his preachers who found the heart to go visit him while he was in the hospital. And before I left, he pronounced a blessing on me. I believe that blessing is very real. I think that all of us need to learn how to pronounce blessings on the folk that we have in the midst of our lives. I believe right now, as I stand here today, the blessing that he relayed on me is a part of what I am experiencing right now with y'all. He said some things to me that I will never forget, and it blessed my life tremendously. Tremendously. He said things that made me realize I could do this thing. First time he's telling me, you're going to be a good preacher. The Lord is going to bless you. The Lord is going to honor the labor of your hands. He even told me, he said, turn everything you touch, going to turn to gold. Now, I don't know if that's happened or not. But it was a good day. It was a good time. And when I got ready to leave, I said, Pastor, is there anything you need for me to do? He said, yeah. He said, take my shoes and sit them by my bed. And I took the shoes, sit them by the bed. He said, close that closet door. I closed the closet door. And he said, that's it. And as I went out the door, he said, don't shut it all the way. Leave it cracked. And I left the door cracked. And as I began to walk down the hall, the Lord gave this benediction. May the Lord watch between me and thee while we are absent one from another. Went into surgery the next day and died on the operating table. And I came to realize that I could have been mad at him, stayed away like the other preachers, and I would have missed my blessing. There's something about having a heart of forgiveness, that when you are willing to forgive, God will take your forgiveness and make it a blessing in the midst of your life. But when you fail to forgive others for the wrong that they have done to you, then God can't let you grow. God can't bring a blessing on you by the negatives that come into your life from the hands of others. As long as we hold on to animosity and unforgiveness and anger and resentment and pain, God cannot take the wrongs that have been done and turn them so that they work for our good, y'all. It's only when we have given it to God and forgiven others do God take them wrongs and then make them work for our good. Too often, we are dying, killing ourselves, and killing others because of our unforgiveness. There's some folks sitting right here today who've got some unforgiveness in their hearts, and they are tearing down their families, tearing down themselves, tearing down what God could be doing to bless your lives and others simply because somebody did something to you and you just can't forgive them. Got to forgive. If you forgive, God can take your unforgiveness, and turn it into a blessing when you